Lord Shaftesbury and the proposal to restore the Jews to the Holy Land. In the 17th century, preachers such as John Wesley, George Whitefield and Jonathan Edwards brought about a seismic shift in the English-speaking world. The Bible and the Gospel were brought into people's households, and this in turn brought about a shift in every area of society. People felt impelled to change society and the world for the better. The list is endless. William Wilberforce, Charles Dickens, Hannah More, Florence Nightingale, Elizabeth Fry, William Booth, and so on and so on. My personal favourite is George Williams, the founder of the YMCA. However, my purpose here is to tell the story of the restoration of the Jewish people, and a key person in this story is Lord Shaftesbury. Anthony Ashley Cooper, 7th Earl of Shaftesbury, who lived from 1801 to 1885, was a British Tory politician, philanthropist and social reformer. He campaigned for better working conditions, reform to lunacy laws, education and the limitation of child labour. He was also an early supporter of the Zionist movement and the YMCA, and a leading figure in the evangelical movement in the Church of England. Apparently he had a difficult childhood, with little love or affection from his parents. However, the one shining light in his early childhood was the family housekeeper, Maria Millis. In the midst of the stiff formality of upper-class British life, she showed him a practical, warm Christian love. She read him Bible stories and taught him to pray. In his teenage years, he became a committed Christian. I think it's amazing how this humble, faithful woman could influence world affairs. More than any other British politician I can think of apart from Wilberforce, Shaftesbury made the world a better place, and everything he did was motivated by his Christian faith, which he learnt very largely from Maria Millis. He became an MP at the age of 25 and quickly took on many reforming causes. He was also a leading evangelical Anglican, and partly through the influence of an Anglican clergyman called Edward Bickersteth, he became a proponent of the restoration of the Jews to the Holy Land. He became president of the London Jew Society from 1848 until his death in 1885. He loved the biblical book of Chronicles because it was full of hope for the resurrection of Israel. All his life he wore a signet ring carved with the prayer, "O pray for the peace of Jerusalem." Much of the influence he had was through Lord Palmerston, who was Prime Minister from 1855 to 1858, and from 1859 to 1865. Palmerston married Shaftesbury's widowed mother-in-law. Shaftesbury himself was married to Palmerston's daughter. In the mid-19th century, there was general recognition that the old Ottoman Empire was rotten and crumbling. It controlled the Holy Land, the land that was known as Palestine, and there was much speculation about what would happen to the territories controlled by the Ottomans when their empire finally dissolved. In July 1853, Shaftesbury wrote to the Prime Minister, Lord Aberdeen, that Greater Syria was a country without a nation, in need of a nation without a country. Is there such a thing? To be sure there is, the ancient and rightful lords of the soil, the Jews. This proved to be a constant theme of Shaftesbury's, and over 20 years later he was still promoting the same idea. In 1875 he told the annual general meeting of the Palestine Exploration Fund, which still exists today, that we have there a land teeming with fertility and rich in history, but almost without an inhabitant. A country without a people, and look, scattered over the world, a people without a country. But let it return to the hands of the Israelites. Shaftesbury died in 1885. In his lifetime he had helped to create the political climate which led to the Balfour Declaration in the next century, and ultimately to the resettlement of the Jews in their own land. So thank you for listening. If you found this video interesting, you can find more information at prophecy-workshop.com.